Welcome to Digital Divides, the podcast where we discuss global perspectives to understand the technology's role in our daily lives. I'm Fair, joining you from Mexico City, Mexico.
And I'm Cody from Pennsylvania in the United States. In today's episode, The Promise and the Paradox, we'll be exploring the two sides of artificial intelligence.
We'll be discussing how AI presents a huge promise for the future with the potential to transform fields from education to medicine. But we also have to confront the paradox, the very real gaps it creates between generations and social classes.
And we'll also get into the future of human creativity. Is AI a threat to art and music as we know it, or is it simply the next tool in the artist's toolkit?
Okay, so to start, I think a first theme we can talk about is AI in our daily life. I think it's very common to use AI in school, maybe us that we're college students. And I personally think that it's better when teachers teach you an ethical way of using AI instead of totally prohibiting you to use it at all. So this teacher I have for my class of theory of communications, she has been embracing AI, and I think that's very great. So for starters, maybe an example of an ethical way of using AI is to study, like as a studying tool. When you have an exam, you can upload like your notes. You can also upload the teacher's presentations, and then AI like ChatGPT, Gemini, or any AI you choose can give you flashcards or even like mock-up tests, and this can prepare you for your exam. So I think this is a very good way to use AI. And also maybe for readings, if you don't totally understand a reading or a certain part of the reading, you upload it to ChatGPT and it can give you like a little summary and important concepts and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's all really helpful. I think being able to use AI for student work's great. But at the same time, I believe that, you're running into the issues with originality of work. You have students that are, not doing the work when it comes to reading and stuff, and they'll ask ChatGPT or another AI model just for what to do pretty much. And then they just change a few words here and there, and it takes away from the actual challenge and the learning opportunity of the assignment. And same with like if you're having it do your math, it's simple. It's just doing your math, and you're not able be able to actually like fundamentally understand what's what, and which defeats the entire point of learning.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Some students can like cheat the system with AI. So yeah, that could be a con of using AI in school. And also I think another bad side of AI, it can be the misinformation it can cause. For starters, for the from the readings we have been doing this past weeks, I've also learned that AIs can be biased because of the people who actually programmed the AIs. Because I think a person cannot be totally objective because you're a person, you have your own beliefs, your own everything, your own experiences. So I think definitely AIs cannot be 100% objective. So I think they can also create a little bit of misinformation, and maybe it creates misinformation for younger and older generations. They can be more propense to believe certain things like AI generated images or videos.
Yeah, and I would have to agree. World of AI opens up tons of opportunity for misinformation, and it's not always like easy, like simple, like lighthearted misinformation. It can be very negative misinformation because anyone can produce almost anything on AI, and especially even sometimes even the lack of information that an AI will give you can be another form of misinformation.
I totally agree. Yeah, definitely. And actually, it's a very funny story, but I lived this with my grandma. This was like maybe a year ago, 8, 9 months ago. I was with my grandma, and she tends to believe everything she sees on the internet, right? And I mean, she's 84, 85, and she didn't grow up with information and with the internet and right now with AI. So she came up to me and it was very funny because she had like her iPad and it was just like this video on YouTube about like a natural disaster and something like fires in Mexico City. And since I study communications, I'm very aware like of the news and social media and everything that happens, right? So I was a little bit suspicious and I started like actually watching the video. And 3 seconds in, I was like, this is not real. So I was like, Grandma, I'm pretty sure this is AI generated. Like, this is not happening. I looked it up in my computer and I was like, look, this did not happen at all. And she had such a hard time, like, actually understanding what a generated AI video was. Like, she had such a hard time like grasping the concept of it not being real at all. So I think there can be a very huge gap between generations. And yeah, maybe young kids that are starting to use the internet and can also have a real hard time to separate the truth with the fakeness or the fake news and the AI related stuff since they're so young and they don't have that experience, right?
Yeah, and that's a great story. And I would have to say that I hope, I mean, further and more advanced we get with AI, we become better at discerning it, even though it becomes more advanced. And I also hope we find ways to like signify what's AI and what's not just by default without having to actually look into it too hard. That way it makes information gathering much more accessible and easy.
Definitely. Yeah. And I also think that this gap isn't just like about age, it's definitely also about access. So in Mexico, I definitely think there's a significant barrier between social classes when it comes to resources and technology. So I think that this is not only who can use AI, but how they perceive its benefits and risks. So people that don't have a lot of access to resources, maybe they're not aware of how AI can affect, like, can have an effect on them or the way they live, or maybe they're not even aware of the risk it comes along with of the misinformation or yeah. So I think it's very important to be aware of the situation.
Looking beyond the divides that exist now, we also have to consider the future. Looking ahead 10 years, I think AI will become even more integrated in the media like music and art, maybe to the point where it's even indistinguishable from human work.
I definitely think so too. I do share those concerns. I think especially for fields like journalism, again, like I said, I study communications. So I think common topic that has been like, I don't know, talked around in the last few years is that AI is taking over like simple or automated tasks in the journalism area that humans used to do, like collecting information or separating the important stuff with these things. But these are now simple tasks that AI can do. So I think there is definitely this issue about like job loss, thanks to AI. But I do also think that they could be like a bright side of AI since it could create more jobs and more opportunities for everyone. I do definitely believe as AI starts growing more because it's recent. So I believe that in the future, maybe it will have the potential to revolutionize research and even medicine and help maybe to prevent diseases or help to find cures.
I like your optimism. I mean, I share it. I think AI is going to open up lots of opportunities that I'm really excited for, but we just have to be careful with how we approach it. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening to this first episode of Digital Divides.
Thank you. And from our conversation, it is clear that AI is both a promise and also a paradox. The challenge is learning how to navigate it to ensure it benefits everyone and not just a few.
We hope our discussion gave you some new perspectives. Join us next time as we continue to explore our world